to Great Falls, Montana, guys. I have arrived in Great Falls, and it is all thanks to a beautiful soul named Jamie that saw the post that I made on a local Lincoln page last night, but she saw it this morning. She offered to come get me from Lincoln, so she came all the way out from Fort Shaw to get me at Lincoln, and then because she has an office here in Great Falls, she brought me all the way out to Great Falls to be able to camp out and potentially bed down in the fenced-in, security camera covered yard of her office here in Great Falls. Not only that, but she took me to the local grocery store, bought me a loaf of bread, a jar of peanut butter, a bag of chips, and a bunch of snacks and canned foods and stuff so that Shadow and I can eat and not have to dive into what we have stored, really, but also have food while we're here. I'm just appreciative of everything. On top of all of that, she took a selfie with me, she took a picture of Shadow, and she's gonna make a local post here to see if she can get any donations, because I think she wants to try and get me into a hotel for a couple nights just so I have some nice rest in a bed and not sleeping on the ground camping, which is not necessary, but if it does happen, I would absolutely take it. It's like 98 degrees out right now, so we're just kind of hanging out here in the shade in the yard of her office. But once it cools down, I think I'm gonna go out and I'm gonna take some B-roll of Great Falls so you guys can see what Great Falls is like. So I'm realizing now as I'm editing my video that I did not record any talking points for most of the time I was in Great Falls, and getting from Great Falls to being here in Lewistown at the Kiwanis Club campground, I also did not record a whole lot of talking points. I did go into Lewistown the other day and recorded a bit of B-roll and a little bit, and we explored the town, and we did do some talking to the camera then, and that'll come after this. But I wanted to take a moment to update you guys on how I got here to Lewistown, everything that happened once I got to Great Falls, because the last you guys heard I was in Great Falls, and that was 2 weeks ago. So as you guys know, getting to Great Falls, I was picked up by the wonderful Jamie, and I was driven from Lincoln all the way to Great Falls, where she let me stay that night in the yard of her office, as you guys well know. From there, that night, she had a friend of hers come over and talk to us, and that friend, Barb, gave us $100 to get Shadow and I into a hotel for the weekend, because we were going to be approaching over 100-degree temperatures that weekend. While staying there for the 2 days that I had checked into the hotel, Jamie had sent me the money to reimburse me for the second day, and then every subsequent day for the next 3 days after, I don't know if it was from donations or if it was from the kindness of her own heart, but for the next 3 days after the initial 2 days in the hotel, she sent me $90 every day so that I could check in and continue to stay there in the hotel and just rest and recuperate. While I was in the hotel, Barb came a couple times. She brought me a new lightning charger because she brought me a couple new lightning chargers because mine had went out, and I went to the Salvation Army to try and find one, and not always do the things you find at Salvation Army always work, which comes from thrifting. She also brought Shadow some goodies like a Nylabone and some jerky treats and another 8 pounds of food on top of the 20 Jamie had bought us 2 days prior. I'm in awe of the kindness that I have gotten from complete strangers on this trip, and meeting Jamie set me on a path to meet Barb and her daughter Brandy. And the last day that I stayed there, Jamie had sent me a text saying, hey, my friend Penny is going to come over to your hotel room and talk to you and see how she can help you out. So that brings me to Penny. Penny is an incredible woman, and like Jamie said, she did come to my hotel, and when she got to the hotel, the first thing she asked me was, what can I get you that will help you out? The past that I come from and having to do everything on my own, I don't really know how to ask for help. I don't really know how to reach out when I need help, and I am learning on this trip. But when it comes to telling people things that I need help with, I'm not really sure where or what I need help with, because I've got it in my brain that I can just figure it out on my own and that I don't need anybody's help, which is not true. I absolutely do need the help, and it's okay to need help. And everybody watching this, if you need help with anything, it's okay to ask for help. That's something I am still just learning myself. I had told her I have no idea how to really answer that. She said, okay, let me snowball some ideas past you, and you can say what would help and what wouldn't help, and we'll build a list kind of off of that. I said, okay, I think I can do that. And so we did. We built a list, and she went to Walmart and she got us things to help us out on our journey. To come to find out, my front tire on my bike is starting to crack, so she got me a new tire to replace that. She got me some liquid IV electrolyte packets to mix in my water, so I'm making sure I'm getting my electrolytes as I travel. She got me a couple propane bottles and a screw-on burner, kind of like a jet boil, along with some first aid stuff for Shadow in case of any emergencies. She got some first aid stuff for me as well. This thunderstorm has brought with it some rain, as expected, but I'm going to continue recording through the rain and through the thunder until I get this done, because you guys definitely need the update. Anyway, before Penny went and got the stuff, she had told me that getting the stuff from Walmart was not the only way she wanted to help us out. She told me that she wanted to get us an actual tent for our trip, because she didn't feel that the tarp tent was sufficient enough or provided enough comforts all around, that when she explained it to me, absolutely made sense. I told her I enjoyed the tarp tenting and that I really didn't need a tent, but when she explained everything to me, I gratefully accepted the fact that she wanted to buy us a tent. Because while tarp tenting is open and it allows me to feel more included in the environment around me, it really bakes in the heat. There's no ventilation, it's wide open, so the bugs just fly in there and get all up in my business. And so when she told me that the tent would bring me comforts like a place to bring my bike in out of the weather, it would give me netting to keep bugs from getting into the tent, as well as that netting would allow me to open it up and give the tent some airflow so we didn't bake in the tent when we're sitting at a campsite. And so overall, after some thinking, I agreed that a tent would probably be better. So she left, she went to Walmart and got the things that she was able to get. She couldn't find the tent that she was looking for. When she came back, she told me that the next day after we checked out, after she got done with some doctor's appointments, that she wanted to pick us up, help us Tetris everything in the back of her little Jeep Cherokee, and drive us at least about half of the distance between Great Falls and Lewistown. Which I was completely in awe of the fact that she was willing to do that after having a busy day of doctor's appointments and everything already. I was completely in awe, and again, I didn't know how to accept it without saying, you know, you don't have to do that. I appreciate it, but it's definitely not something you have to do. She came back, as most people that have helped me along this journey, and said, I know I don't have to, but I want to. This is something that I want to do to help you along on this journey. So push comes to shove, she dropped off the goodies, we said our goodbyes for the day, and she left and went home. Next day comes about, Shadow and I have gotten all the bags packed up, and of course I wake up at like 10:30. I've got like half an hour till morning checkout. So I called the manager and I said, hey, can I get a later checkout, like 1 o'clock, noon? And he said, 1 o'clock's a little too late, but noon is okay. Just go ahead, I'm running errands, drop your key in the drop box once you leave the room. We got everything all packed up, into the bags anyway, and then I shuffled everything out into the parking lot, into the spot where I was keeping my trailer camped, because it would not fit in through the door. So I just left it straight eyesight from my window where I could keep an eye on it while they're in the motel. And we started loading everything into the cart. after leaving the room. It took me probably an hour to get everything all situated in the cart, at which point we had messaged Jamie because I wanted to give her some stickers. I've got these Sasquatch stickers that, as a token of my appreciation, I give to anybody that helps me out along this journey and helps Shadow out along this journey. And so I wanted to give her a couple of those, one for her and a couple to pass on to Barb and Brandy as well. In talking to her, she said, I don't know if coming to my office right now is a very good idea. It's really hot and there's really nowhere to hide. So I said, okay, I'll just wait at the park back here behind the motel until Penny can come and get us, and then I will see if Penny can drop us by, which she did. So we went back to the Kiwanis Park back behind the motel, and Shadow and I hung out under a gazebo, kind of like I'm under now, in the shade for a couple hours, and I just played Minecraft on my Switch. When Penny came and met us there, she helped us break down everything out of the cart and get it all Tetrised into the back of her Jeep Cherokee. Then we got on the road. We first stopped by Jamie's office, where Jamie had left me a couple goodies along with some vitamins to really help with pain and muscle fatigue on really heavy biking days. And then from there we headed to Shields. Now, I don't know if you guys watching know what a Shields is. I've never experienced Shields until here in Montana. I think it might be a Montana-based sporting goods store. We went in there because she couldn't find the tent the day before at Walmart. We went in there to look for a tent, and when we found one that was close to the idea of what she had for us, come to find out that that tent was like $545. That's ridiculous to me. I would, even if I was one of these billionaires that had money to spend for the next 10,000 years, I would not buy a tent for $545. And she kind of looked over and we were like, yeah, no, we're gonna skip out here. So we left Shields, and she took us to the Walmart that was on the way out of town, out of Great Falls East. And Great Falls has not just one Walmart, it has two Walmarts, and it has a whole Sam's Club. We went to the Walmart on the way out of town, and we were able to find something that worked. You can see it back here behind me. It is a 6-person tent, complete with open foyer, I believe you would call it, that I'm able to pull my bike and cart under and keep them sheltered from any weather like we're experiencing right now. I am out here under the gazebo because I absolutely love the thunder. After leaving Walmart, we got on the road, and she drove us like 50 miles through all of the really big, massive rolling hills and buttes from Great Falls, Montana, all the way to Stanford, Montana. Where in Stanford, she dropped us off at a bar-and-R right off of Highway 200, or US 87, whatever you want to call the road. It's like 3 different highways all in one, which is mind-boggling. I don't understand the highway system. I do, but I don't. And she wanted to buy us a meal there before she set us off down the road. After the order was placed, we went back outside. I pulled the bike around front of the bar-and-R. We said our goodbyes, and then she got on the road, headed back to her home, where Shadow and I sat there and we enjoyed our dinner. Oh, I also forgot to mention that she helped us Tetris everything back into the cart with the new gear and everything. And on top of the tent, she gave us a solar battery bank and solar charger, a 60-watt solar panel that charges this 296-watt battery bank that I can plug USBs into, I can plug a car charger into, I can plug regular wall outlet plugs into. All around, that alone on top of the tent provided basically all of the needs that I would need for pretty much the rest of the journey. I'm also realizing now that I completely skipped over the fact that on my last night in Great Falls, Jamie came to me with a tote full of, she brought me a tote full of family-sized MREs, dehydrated, freeze-dried MREs, that I picked from. I could not fathom taking the whole tote of MREs. So I went and I picked through a bunch of them and got a whole bunch. And again, thank you, Jamie, for those. And with all I picked out, I've got well over a month's worth of meals. I will say the chicken a la king ones that I got were not good at all. To me, they tasted like straight vomit. I cannot even add stuff that I've got in my other food stores to even make it better, and I tried. That one was not good, and I did ultimately end up tossing those ones. But the Alfredo has been good, the oatmeal was good, I'm sure the mac and cheese is good. So I've got a whole lot more to go through. I got some regular rice in there too. I got some powdered milk because I'm a big milk fan. I know powdered milk is a little different, but when you're on the road living the life as I am right now, I'm not going to be picky about it. I will enjoy it. Back to where we were with Penny. After she left and headed back home, Shadow and I waited out front because he was not allowed inside the restaurant while they were cooking, which, understandable, you don't want dog hair in your food, I don't think. So yeah, we sat outside and waited for our food, and one of the hostesses or waitresses brought us out our food and over some condiments, and we sat there and we enjoyed our food. By the time everything was said and done, Penny picked us up at like 2 o'clock. We went to Walmart and Shields, which probably took about an hour, and then we were on the road for about an hour too. So by the time I got the food ordered, it was like 5:30, and by the time I sat there and I enjoyed the food and I was all done with it, it was almost 7 o'clock, and I just could not fathom pushing myself down the road to try and find a campsite somewhere down the road. So I went in and I talked to the locals, and some of them pointed me to setting up and camping there in the Stanford Park for the night. So that's what Shadow and I did. We went and it gave us a good night right there in a town to test out the tent, get situated, see how it felt, and then the next morning get all the gear resituated and familiar with how we wanted it to sit in our cart. The next morning at 10 o'clock, I got on the road and we pushed 30 miles down the road that day, stopping after about 20 at 2 o'clock in the afternoon to rest for a couple hours and keep this guy in the shade down here. I used the bike and the trailer and his and my bed to propped up against it to create some shade, and he took a nap for about 3 hours while I sat there and used the solar charger to charge up my phone and my lights and stuff like that, while also charging up the battery bank. And then we hit the road again, pushing an additional like 10 miles down the road to Eddie's Corner. Now, by the time I got to Eddie's Corner, sun was setting, and I really didn't have anywhere that I knew of that I could camp down. So I went into the gas station there at Eddie's Corner. I got a couple sandwiches for Shadow and I got a couple Gatorades for myself, and I asked the gas station attendant, is there anywhere around here that I could set up my tent and camp for the night? And she said, yeah, I think you're good to set up your tent in the little park here at the station. So I did that. I went over, I set up my tent, and as I'm laying there for the night, I'm thinking to myself, you know, because I'm okay to camp here, and because I'm so tired after the 30 miles today, I think I'm going to stay here tomorrow as well. We ate our food, we got settled down, we went to bed, and because I was planning to stay there again the next day, I slept in. And it wasn't until like 10:30 that I'm woken up by the elder gentleman that him and his wife are the ones that actually run it, and the lady in the gas station is a new employee, told me, I'm sorry, you can't tent camp here, my insurance won't allow it. At first I was like, wait, what? He repeated himself. He said, I'm sorry, but you can't tent camp here. My insurance will not allow it. I apologized, told him that the attendant in the gas station last night when I came in told me I was okay to camp there and that I would get packed up and get on the road as soon as possible. So we did that. We got up, we got packed, and because I was exhausted, it took me about an hour and a half to get everything all loaded in the cart, at which point it was about noon, 85 degrees and climbing to 90 plus. So I was like, okay, well, we're just going to figure out somewhere around here to rest for a few hours. Maybe we can catch a ride with someone here at the truck stop into Lewistown. If not, we're going to wait till it cools down and we'll bike in. Ultimately, we went right across the road from the Eddie's Corner gas station, and there is a little Amish-run grocery store there known as Big Sky Grocery. I went there because I had heard that Eddie's Corner had some of the best ice cream, and when asking around, I was pointed there. So Shadow and I went there, and we got 2 scoops of huckleberry ice cream and a scoop of strawberry cheesecake ice cream, all of which, yes, I did share with Shadow. I didn't give him a whole lot because dairy and cream is not really good for dogs, but it's an okay treat to give them occasionally. And we hadn't really had many treats on the road so far, so I felt it was okay to share some ice cream with him, especially being it was hot. After finishing the ice cream and maybe about an hour into us just hanging out, a gentleman named Johnny came over and he's like, I have to ask, you're all kitted out for a major bike ride. Are you biking for a cause? I was like, no, I'm not biking for a cause, but I have made it clear I'm documenting the whole trip. And I've made it clear in my videos that with my Cash App that is linked to my videos, if anybody donates to that, anything that I have left when I get to the end of my trip will be donated to the World Wildlife Fund, because wildlife conservation and environmental conservation is really heavy on my heart and something that I really want to focus on, especially with the dream of being a wildlife videographer and photographer. He and I had a good conversation for a little bit. I told him about where I was coming from, where I was headed, and along those lines. And he told me that he was a construction worker that works along the 200 here, based out of Lewistown. And so being he's from the area, I said, hey, do you by chance know anybody that if I gave them like 20 bucks for gas would be willing to pick me up here at Eddie's Corner and take Shadow and I into Lewistown to the campsite? And he said, you know what, give me an hour and a half. I've got a load full of materials I got to take to the job site, but once I get that all unloaded and I'm headed back to Lewistown, because that's where I'm staying, I'll pick you guys up and I'll take you there myself. So we shook hands, I gratefully accepted, and he headed about his way to go to the job site. Shortly after he left, while I'm sitting there just kind of resting and spending time with Shadow out in front of the grocery store in their Adirondack chairs that they've all got out there for people to sit and enjoy their ice creams and their snacks and stuff like that. It's really a cool place. I really liked talking with the owner of the store and finding out about the Amish community and everything. It was just really cool to find out about their heritage and their community and how things work for them, and I really enjoyed that conversation. Well, while I'm sitting there out in front of the store, another bicyclist rolls up, and he's got a full-on bike jersey on, he's got gear strapped all to his bike, and I can tell that he's on a major bicycle trip too, so I'm making friendly conversation. I was like, hey man, I see you're all kitted up like I am. Where are you coming from? And he said, Forks, Washington. I was like, no way, I'm coming from Pullman. He's like, oh, okay, that's pretty cool. Where are you headed? I said, as far east pretty much as you can go here in the United States. I'm headed all the way to Virginia Beach, which he replied, get out of here. And after a long pause, he came back and he said, now I gotta say, I don't say get out of here because I think that's a crazy distance or that you're not capable of doing it or anything like that. I say that because that is exactly where I am headed on my bicycle trip. So, come to find out, we both left Washington, taking two completely different paths all the way across the country to end up in Virginia Beach. Now, he's not staying in Virginia Beach, and he might not even be there when I get there. It'd be cool to run into him there, but because we were headed for the same point, he sat down, we had a good conversation. Come to find out his name is Patrick. And he is actually riding for a cause under the brand Ride Pat Ride. Now, Pat is riding to bring awareness and raise money for type 1 diabetes research. I think that is an absolutely incredible cause because while diabetes is well known, there is not a whole lot of research into taking care of the people that suffer from type 1 diabetes. Because it was so close to my heart, because my grandfather has diabetes, he has type 2 diabetes, which is not the same, but because he has diabetes, and a good friend of mine in high school was born with type 1 diabetes, I felt really called to donate at least what I could. So I gave Pat $10 cash and said, however you can put this towards the cause, use it. I just felt really called to help out, and so yeah, I donated. In our conversation, come to find out, he was coming to this same Lewistown campground, and shortly after that, he got on his bike and he headed on his way after getting some snacks there from the grocery store. Well, I waited a little longer. Johnny came and picked us up and drove us in. We drove past Pat as he was biking into Lewiston, and I got this video. I think we're coming up on the Ride Pat Guy ride. Ride Pat Ride guy I was talking to earlier. We're about to pass him. Hey, Ride Pat Ride. Hey, man. Hey.
Hey, brother.
We will see you in camp, man. Ride safe. Woo! And then we came into the Kiwanis Club campground here in Lewistown and set up camp, and I have been here ever since. The wind is picking up, so I'm going to wrap it up here. We're going to go right into the Lewistown adventure, and I will see you guys on the other side. Oh, well, good evening, guys. I didn't see you guys out here. Come here for just a minute. Well, I know a lot of you guys have been wondering, Squatch, where the hell have you been for the last week? To make it brief, a quick update right here at the beginning, I am in Lewistown, Montana, and we're about to hit the road and actually go explore the town. Gotta have my tunes everywhere I go. So one of the things I was really interested in checking out here in Lewistown was the architecture. And just as you roll down that big hill that I showed in my B-roll as I was coming into Lewistown, you get to see the Fergus County office building, which is where they do all of their, I'm assuming all their court work and all the paperwork and stuff for Fergus County. That's what my mind tells me with it being the Fergus County building, but I'm not fully sure. But the architecture here is, it is something else. Check this out, guys. Well, I don't know about you guys, but that was some pretty beautiful architecture. I'm gonna head on down the road further into Lewiston because there's a couple other places architectural wise that I want to check out. I don't know if you can see behind me, but the sun is about to set and I don't have much time left. So let's get cracking down the road. All right, well, Shadow and I got a little further down here and we parked our bike just over here by a street post. And I think we're gonna walk downtown and take a look at some of this architecture here in town. That way, because there is not a whole lot of time left and I don't wanna keep getting off the bike, taking stuff out, putting stuff back on. That just takes up way too much time. Shadow and I are gonna go for a little walk around here in town, check out the downtown architecture, and we will see you guys on the other side. Well, Shadow and I have gotten pretty much to the edge of downtown Lewistown, so I think we're gonna go into the Conoco here real quick. I'm gonna get myself a drink. That truck is obnoxiously loud, and then I will see you guys back at camp because we've only got like 30 minutes before it gets dark, so I'm gonna haul butt to get back there.